Watching the telly is a really passive experience. Right? You watch the telly, right? You read the paper. But being on the social media, actually being on steady on digital media, gives you that opportunity to interact, to have a relationship, and to talk with someone, and to exchange with them. And so that's what's really important. And that actually builds deeper bonds and experiences and understanding between your business, your product and your brand and the people that you're trying to interact with. So, and that's quite difficult to do in a stage, because the old way was a pyramid, and you had all the powerful guys at the top, and then they talk to other guys that way, and so there's the PR guys were like to think they're all really powerful and getting all this stuff in the paper. But now you've got 1 million people on Facebook, or nearly 1 million people on Twitter doing all this stuff, and so it's really difficult. So one of the things that, and so actually it's causing a bit of head scratching. So I've thought about it. It's all the stories, John. Stories are the new PR. You tell people stories about their things. It's not just about press releases anymore. It's got to be a story form. Other people are talking about sharing, and you've got to share. And that's okay. That's all very well, but that's all very controlled, I think, and all very a couple of people do it. And that, so you funnel all your relationships into a press release or something, and then you funnel it all back into. What I think is going to be the huge challenge for you guys, for as much as I understand about your world and the stuff that you do, is that organisations like mine are going to, rather than having one conversation, right, and I control all the communications out and all the communications in, and I read all the press releases, and I give authorisation, and I see everything, and in about 3 or 4 years' time, I won't see any of that stuff, because my organisation's got 100 people, and what we're trying to do with them just now is get my customer service reps and my managers and my policy guys. I want them talking to people in public. I want them talking to people online. I don't want them just telling people stuff. I want them talking to them, and then I want them to come back and feed and make it and use the information they learn to make improvements to what they do every day. So you're talking about more about. I don't want to have one conversation with us and the public. I want us to have 100 conversations. So I want my grants officer. So the big life I make grants, right? So we give out money to charity. We do it in about £400,000 blocks, right? 3 or 4 years worth of stuff. I want my grants officer blogging about the project that they went to visit today, taking pictures of it and putting it up. I want my policy officer taking pictures of everything that they go and see and putting them on photos. I want my boss, I want my chief executive, to be fair, she's taking up the mantle, I want her tweeting. So every meeting she goes to, the world knows about. She knows she's going, she knows she's there, and she knows what she found out when she was there. And that's because that's about saying, that's about having relationships online, and that's how what online communications can do by having relationships. So your website's important, but you're having all these other conversations, and all that stuff can enable you guys by driving traffic, I think, perhaps. And my thing was, if I can do we did this wonderful thing today, we funded this brilliant project, the people that haven't worked there are going to get jobs because we're giving money to this charity. And if everybody in my office clicked like on their Facebook page, I think the audience would be bigger than the Sunday Herald circulation. Right? So, sorry Andy.
It's going up.
Yeah, well, maybe I should have picked up your newspaper. But if everybody in Glasgow said that with 300 people, so that's not bad going. That's kind of getting up there at the evening time. That's real quality. And so we've got to try and find a way, get these conversations, improving our brand image, using the information that we get back to help inform our products, to help inform our brand, and helping to make the things that we do the things that we do better than we used to do. It's our old website, which tell folks stuff, broadcasting stuff. And if people were lucky enough to find our website and find the right page on it and all that kind of stuff. We've been told stuff and we cross our fingers and hope it come back. And now we know what actually is going to happen over the next 10 or 20 years. We're going to have a range of conversations with people. So that's I suppose how it's absolutely clear that the PR is going to evolve over time. We'll stop being the people in charge of the message and start being the people that are facilitating that message. Actually, my biggest job in 10 years' time is going to be talking to people inside my organisation about these hundreds of conversations that are going on every day to make sure that they're getting the message across to people properly. Right? So we don't just say, okay, there's 15,000 people on our website this week, that's where our customers are, this is where they're all going to be, and so everything goes into it. They'll be all over the place. And so we're going to have to make sure that we get the right people in, we train them properly. We're going to have to trust them. We're going to have to tell them and make sure they know that we do trust them. And then we're going to find a way of gathering that, harvesting the information, getting it into the organisation, changing the way we do things, and then having new conversations about the even better stuff that we're doing. How long was that, Andy? How long was that?
In 19 minutes.
Shit. So, I think I did the last bit twice. So that's what PR is and what PR is. It's about building a relationship between your customers and your organisation. Right? Trying to get them to buy your thing, to get them to apply for your thing, to get them to do something that they've never done before. Right? And I think the best way to do that is to have a conversation, not just to talk. So on that note, I will stop broadcasting my message and ask if anybody's got any questions.
I've got two.
By the way, keep going.
Can we get a lottery fund for this group? I think there's a few lost causes come along, so it's helping people in need. Can't. And if I get you an article in the Herald, can I get free lunch?
I owe you lunch anyway. I say I'm available for lunches. Now, none of that wasn't an anti-lunch tirade.
What's lunch, Ken?
It's a big lamb. Yeah, it's a lot of succulent.
I think that again, that social media has definitely got its place in this modern world. I mean, every business has got to decide how it actually adopts it and rolls it out and puts it in place, and how it's going to benefit the business in some way. I think what you're saying is that we are going back. We've seen the death of the high street. We talked about the death of the high street because we've got all these online stores and people are running busy lives and they've swung in that direction. But when the high street store was there, the person who owned that store understood his customer. He's seen them a lot. Because there wasn't this other online distraction, and they came into the store and they talked and they exchanged information and he got to know that customer. And I think for a while during the transition we've seen a bit of a coldness because we were behind a screen. Okay, people were coming into the website and buying, but you're not engaging with them. And I think that's where social media then, to get them, I mean, some businesses will say, I'm not hiring some guy to sit there all day and just yap to some other person that's halfway across the world. But done in the right way and communicating, it's got to be a balance. You can't just keep talking all day about the actual website and keep going to this page and think about that. There's got to be that two-way engagement. I think that's what you're saying. It works, it rewards the engagement.
5 years ago, I could tell you what the topic of conversation is in Glasgow this afternoon. By and large, and have a reasonable start of what people are talking about. That would cost me 20 grand. It would take me about 3 weeks. A couple of weeks up front and a week to process. Right? Yeah. But I could tell you, I could go somewhere with better reception than down here, but if I went upstairs to the door, right? You can see what's trending in Glasgow this afternoon. And you can see, We've gone from Googling ourselves to seeing what's trending on Twitter about our organisation, so you can find out what people are talking about, what the problem is, what the issues are, what the good stuff is. You can engage with the guy, you can engage with your evangelists, you can placate your blockers, and it's a really powerful thing to be able to do that, because although it might not have the universal reach that a combination of reporting Scotland and the Daily Record might have had, your bond with those customers is greater. It's not as passing, it's not as fleeting. And if you're their brand, if you're their organisation, if that's their product, and they've told people about it, it's going to say, there's sales psychology about this stuff. I used to do sales as well. If people say, I buy that thing to somebody else, it's not just good because they're telling other people, it's good because it reinforces it. Twitter stuff very good for that, Facebook and all things too.
It puts the business on its toes. It puts us all on our toes, because none of us want bad publicity. So, at the same time, there's a balance. Anybody in the hotel industry here? I deal with some of the guys, and I've got a colleague who looks after hotels.com as the web author, and I mean, he's got to be on his toes to be able to deal with the negative side of what people write, and be able to come back and strike a balance. And there's going to be negative parts in there. I suppose it helps to, if you see both sides, you judge for yourself then, am I going to go ahead and continue to do some business with this? I've read some reviews that are negative, but there's other reviews.
People always had these conversations, but you could never tap into it. Have you told your pals that you didn't like the hotel that you stayed in the other week, or you bought a car that was a dud, but as a hotelier or a car dealership, I wouldn't have any idea that conversation was going on, and no way of getting into it. But actually, and that's why I think for guys like me, we're going to have to give power away, because that can't all be funneled through. So you have your whole brand engaged in that way, having conversations and dealing with those conversations at source. It'll help. I mean, I know when I go and TripAdvisor, and when I'm allowed to stay overnight with a 2-year-old daughter, I'm not allowed anymore, no jollies, and I look at a hotel rates, it's in balance. But actually what you've got as a hotel is an opportunity to react to it. You never had that before. People were just spreading that bad word in a vacuum.
I'm going to have to cut you off there for time.
I'm really sorry, I didn't think, I thought it was about 15 minutes. And,
I think we're all quite appreciative of a little insight into the PR world, so we'll give you a round of applause.